Hello, in this video I'm going to tell you about a wild dream I had last night, an update on my life, as well as showcase the two things that I built, well, one thing that I built and one thing that I bought today. For those of you who do not know me, my name is Duncan Alderdice, and the reason I'm making these videos is to document the journey I take as I become who I am by making small improvements to my life every single day. So last night, this morning, I slept in more than I needed to. Probably had been going to bed a bit too late or later than I should be, around like 1 o'clock in the morning kind of thing, for these past few days. But as a consequence, was tired, so I decided to sleep in. So I didn't edit video this morning, but that's all right. But I had quite the dream. I was exploring, like it was vivid. There were people that I knew and remembered like from my real life that were in it. But then there was also a bunch of other characters with real faces and people that I couldn't recognize, but they were actual people. And like I was exploring Montreal. There was there's like a brother and sister that I knew that I was kind of following on like a path. Like it was just a big sort of like area that had like crazy looking houses, but it was an old type of like cobblestone type road sort of thing. And like this was like, it was like a circus, but not a circus, but like a movie cast. Like there was like it was a group of people that all looked like misfits, but also kind of like they were all creative, had their own sort of ness to them, but they all were, some of them were like very stereotypical or tropey. I don't know, like everything was very pronounced about it. But so that was kind of the vibe, and like I was vibing with them, and it was cool. It's going like, hey, I found a group, like I'm fucking like all over the place with this, like I'm working into it, and like there was like a chant that they had, there were trumpets going on like with a parade at some point, and like it turned a little culty. Because then there was one point where they were going like, okay, well, in order to join this group, like there's like a $2,000 to sign up to join. Like we do this in order to preserve the quality of the group, kind of thing. And like it was going, okay, that makes sense. And this was like at the beginning. Then I met everyone in the group. There were multiple houses going all over the place. I remember there was like two really tall guys that were like 9 feet tall. Like I was standing in an elevator and going like, how tall are you guys? And they were like 9 feet. And I was like, whoa, I'm 6 feet. Well, but that was that. And then it came to a point where we're in a basement, or coming up from stairs. There was something that I got there that then this was the actual initiation, that I've been accepted into the group. And then there was like a little ritual going on. It was really dark. And then they got me to like show me this iPad with going like here's like, this is how you sign in, like lock in your spot, get in here kind of thing. And like it was done really quickly, and here you go, just sign here kind of thing. And I was like, no, hold on, how much is this gonna cost? Like, no, it doesn't matter. No, how much is it gonna cost kind of thing. And I saw the charge was for $8,000, and I was going like, wait, hold on, it was $2,000 kind of thing. And then there's a bunch of fanfare all over the place. I took the iPad away, and there's the head guy who was a bit more rounder, like has like no hair, but like I don't know, like he wasn't bald, but he had hair, but he didn't. But there was a particular look, an evil kind of look in his eye with it. And then he handed the iPad back, and then it was like the same sort of thing, just sign here, go. And then like it was $6,000, so then still more than what I was quoted at, like reasonable, that I was okay paying to join this group kind of thing. And then I was going like, no, this is a scam. And then like started running out, like trying to escape them. And then there was like the same, like there's like a chant that was going on that came from one side of something. That like group of 3 people that had like one really long trumpet with flags on it, whatever it was that was there, like started chanting. And then all of a sudden there was like 3 other people that I also was in the trials with the group with, and then we're running away. And then apparently like this sort of cult was something that like steals money from people, and people like it seduces you into it with like all these creative, cool looking people that like fit all of the archetypes for the types of people you want to like surround yourself with, but really they're just after your money. And then as soon as you pay, like then they all disappear, and then it's like it was a big sort of thing. And I was woken up by my phone ringing for the StruckTube delivery man, who delivered this fantastic cool fucking bookshelf, which I built. It was actually came in this box, and that box there too. So that was the sort of morning, but it's nice and modern, or sleek kind of look. It goes well with the actual vines in the background. And then the plant, I need to actually add the books to it, so then that's finally, I can get rid of these boxes of books and make it feel a bit more homey. What I was afraid of is that these vines were gonna kind of get in the way and they'd have to fall down. But because there's a little offset, even if I pushed it up to this thing here, that would be enough to have them hidden in the background, so it looks nice and natural, vegetatious and everything. And I don't know if you know this, but this is the carpet that I bought, which is only a $40 carpet. It's nice to have just something rather than bare floor, because there's going to be a green couch that goes there and then a green chair that goes there, I think. So then what's nice, there's like green in it that can hold out. This is sort of, it's kind of the same color, but then there's just, a rug and carpet is the thing that pulls the room together. So that's sweet. And so that was the thing that I kind of bought. Then the other thing that was going on is the fact that, like, so yesterday got a match with a message and then started conversing with that person. It was interesting because then my head is going like, okay, how do we get it to like a phone call or at least something off of the app? And it was funny because her first message back was like just getting off the app, and I'm going like, okay, well, all right. It was actually a bit overwhelming. I was like, oh shit, fuck, we're getting off the app already. And then back and forth, she was replying quick, which I was suspect of, but I think that's just because it just, I don't know, it just felt too good to be true almost, and I don't want to fully lean into the whatever. But then later on in that conversation, it like, there was a point where like we were going like, where have we been in Montreal? And then she was like, oh, there's this one spot, like there's a cool coffee shop. And then I'm going like, is that a sign for me to ask? Like, do I ask right now? Like, is that a hint to ask on a date? And then I sent like the text, like where it asked Delvika, who's a friend who is a girl, but then it just is like going like, that's, she also was on Hinge talking to another guy, so but just, it just was going like, is this what's happening here? And she was like, yes, go ask her, like say this Sunday. And then so I did that Sunday, and then it turned into not tomorrow, but next weekend. So that's cool. So that's a tentative date for next weekend. So that's sweet, awesome. And then there's conversations that have been going on. We haven't spoken at all today, but that's good because I've been doing stuff, and that clearly, it doesn't, like I don't want to just become, because I can be a tad obsessive, super obsessive and fixated on this. So that's cool. Now, I think the point, the two things, like I think what I'm going to do in regards to conversations like this is keep most of it private. Like I don't want the channel and these videos, although it is documenting the journey I take as I become who I am, to be it's focused on me, but I don't want it, like there's an amount of detail I can give that gives enough detail that feels like you have learned something without giving all the detail. So I think it's like just like little tidbits of information I will focus that on, because I don't want it to be like, come watch these videos for like all of the information on my personal life. I don't think so. Well, no, I know that that's not a sustainable long-term sort of thing. But it is useful to add elements of it. Which is just like careful with how much I share. But I think the one thing that I'm going to say is that I'm not going to be sending out any more messages until the interaction with this particular individual has run its course, whether that's long term or just figuring out going like, oh, it's not a fit kind of thing. Because I think it's just more, I don't see how if I'm talking to multiple people, you just don't fall into the trap of just like comparing people, and then ultimately what you're looking for is a Frankenstein version of multiple types of people. Like everyone has their flaws, but then everyone has their imperfections that are actually like the endearing part about them. That when you contrast that with another person that lacks that imperfection, the imperfection doesn't seem like appealing. It then seems going like, oh, it would be better if it had this person. And then ultimately what you're looking for is like, if I'm talking to three people, if this person's conversation style with this person's energy, with this person's that's the person I'm looking for. And it's going like, well, that person doesn't exist. And the only reason I'm thinking about that person, which is the combination of a bunch of people, is because I put myself into an unrealistic situation. So again, what it is not doing is then going like, this one person, all of it rides on this, it has to work. Like no, still approach it with going like, Like, do we get along? Is there a connection? Is it someone I'm interested in continuing to speak to? Like, still have that mentality, but I think that the focus of one person at a time is a better way to do it. And I think it comes from like a standard or principle of like, if you're actively in a relationship, you can either dedicate your energy to maintaining and building the current one that you have, or looking elsewhere. And then like if your marriage isn't working, and this is coming from someone who isn't married or doesn't really know anything, so don't really take this as marital advice at all. But like if your marriage or your relationship isn't working, instead of looking elsewhere and then having an affair and trying to find something like that, take that time and energy and focus it to the person that you're actually with, and that will pay off. Like then the relationship you're currently in will flourish rather than destroying it looking somewhere else. So then that same principle, I believe, should be applied at every point in the relationship, even when the relationship isn't there and it's just in the beginning stages, which is roughly just to say is, instead of me being focused elsewhere, just focused on it. Because it might not work out, and that's okay. Or it might work out, and that's fantastic. But again, the focus needs to be one. One thing that I'm glad is that it was like in the exchanges, what we made clear is what we both were looking for. Like she was going, why are you on Hinge? And I was going like, well, I'm looking for like a long-term, like life partner relationship sort of thing. Like that's what I'm here looking for. I don't know what it means when people say they're looking for a short-term sort of thing. And then she said like, I'm looking for a friend and long-term partner, which then kind of like it's the same thing. Like I want to build a connection with somebody, and then that connection kind of flourish. So then if we're both on the same page going like, let's feel each other out and take things slow so we can actually like, you're meeting a stranger through the internet. So like, it's not like where a lot of people will meet is like in class, where like you can get an idea of a person before you actually get to know that person. So then how do you recreate those set of conditions in a manufactured online sense? And then it's just like you have to actually make an effort to do so. So then if we're both on the same page, then the goals are aligned, then that's the bedrock for a successful relationship, whether or not it flourishes to that point or not. We shall see. But in any case, I'm glad that I stepped in today. Wish I edited videos, but I'm also glad that I've done that in the work in the past so that it's there. The apartment is starting to come together. Now it's not as vacant, so it doesn't feel as empty. And yeah, feeling fucking good. Valentine Club, thanks for sticking around as always, and remember to believe in yourself, because you're more capable of doing great things than you give yourself credit. I'll talk to you later.